It stinks.
Greetings. You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen, and I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
This is a busy night for us, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to make a nice busy week for you guys and enjoying our particular channel as we are resurrected from the dead, so to speak. And
More like a nap.
yeah, a very, very deep nap. Well, we've been talking about awards season, and of course, one set of awards that is coming up, of course, is the Golden Raspberry Awards, which coincides with the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
They do their nominations a little bit earlier so that you can get a hold of them. So I've got the list right here. So we're going to go over it and see what we think as to who might win these awards this year. For those of you who don't know, these are for the worst of the worst. So we get to examine some of the worst films of the year. Some of them you will see quite a few times. Some you might even be surprised at. So here are the nominees for the Raspberries this year. So we're going to start with worst screenplay. Now, the nominees this year are Baywatch, The Emoji Movie,
Of course.
50 Shades Darker,
Of course.
The Mummy, and Transformers Last Night. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, they have just the one screenplay category, right?
Yep, just screenplay.
See, this brings up a good example. 50 Shades Darker probably is one of the worst screenplays of the year, but is it a terrible adaptation?
Who knows, it might be better.
Exactly. Now, one of the ones I'm actually tempted, and I'm a little surprised that neither of these were on the list. If you define it as worst adaptation, worst adapted screenplay, Ghost in the Shell should be on there.
Yeah.
And honestly, Dark Tower is a contender. But the movies I've seen, easily the worst screenplay. Terrible, terrible screenplay. Awful screenplay. That was almost saved by Charlie Day's performance was Fist Fight. Awful screenplay.
So,
but, yeah.
From what you've heard, which one of these do you think will be the winner this year?
Winner.
Yeah, well, winner being...
Well, from what I've heard, probably Emoji Movie.
See, now,
I think Emoji Movie's going clean up.
I would look at it oddly enough as, for me, Transformers. But I'm going to have a theme in this, and I hate Transformers. So at this point, I don't hate the original, but I do dislike this Michael Bay bastardization of the films. So I would consider that. I feel like they were probably asleep at the wheel making this screenplay. So I guess we'll move on to worst director.
Okay.
Darren Aronofsky for Mother.
I'll be watching that this week.
Michael Bay for Transformers. James Foley for 50 Shades Darker. We're seeing a theme here already.
Yes.
Alex Kurtzman for The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Leonidas for The Emoji Movie. Boy, again, we're seeing a theme.
Yep.
So, to me, I'm just going to start off and say Michael Bay. And the reason why I say Michael Bay is because of how he has treated the fans.
Yeah.
He basically took a dump on his fans and told them, I don't care. I don't care if I make one of the crappiest movies ever because you're going to buy it because you're stupid because you're my fans. He didn't say it exactly like that, but he pretty much implied that. I don't have to worry about working because you're going to buy it no matter what. Anybody who says it like that, worst director in my opinion.
Yeah.
Add on top of that a lot of the laziness he gets. He recycles a lot of the effects.
Yeah.
He recycles the same jokes, probably the same script. So,
well, see, he has to recycle the effects because if you blow everything up in every movie, it gets real expensive if you don't reuse those effects.
These are still extremely expensive films.
Yeah.
So what do you think out of this?
Well, I will be watching Mother this week. I want to see it. Aronofsky is a brilliant director, but dude is touched in the head. It's obvious from his films. And Mother was one of the most divisive films ever made.
I know how much you loved Pie.
Oh, man. I did not like Pi. But Pi was another very divisive film. Most of his films I thought very highly of, but Requiem for a Dream was unsettling, and Black Swan, oh God, so unsettling. Sorry, I just can't help it. Most of these others, I still think Emoji Movie's sheer existence is a far bigger insult than Michael Bay could ever do. But it's kind of, it could go any way, I think. But I think Emoji Movie's going to clean up. But I could go with Transformers getting a bunch of them, too.
So, now we're talking about remakes, sequels, or rip-offs, so to
Worst
speak.
remake, rip-off, or sequel. I love the name of that category.
We start off with Baywatch. Again, pattern. But now we're adding a new one to the mix.
Yes.
We're adding Boo 2, A Medea Halloween.
Yeah.
50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers Last Night. Now, again, I am sitting there, I want to give it Transformers, but to tell you the truth, I am going to give it to The Mummy. Because this Transformers movie is probably not going to kill off the series.
They're saying it's the last one. But...
As Michael Bay has stated, they'll keep making them, they keep making money. They'll love them no matter what. But The Mummy killed off an entire universe in one fell swoop. That dark universe died with The Mummy, and therefore, in my opinion, it deserves that worst sequel. Not
to mention that you're talking about people taking a giant crap on the fans. Michael Bay really did that with the first Transformers, and it's gotten bigger. The pile has gotten bigger with each successive Transformers movie. But The Mummy was where it really first happened in this case. You know what I mean? Now, and The Mummy has a good legacy. It has good stuff before. Like, I'll admit, from what I've heard, Baywatch took a giant dump on its legacy. But come on, Baywatch doesn't have the legacy that The Mummy has. You know? So, and really, I think we're past the point. The ship has sailed on whether the Medea movies are still going to be all that. I'm sure we'll get some hate comments for that, but and of course, 50 Shades of Grey started. Bad.
Any particular prediction for this time?
I guess I'll go with The Mummy this go around. But again, I'm shocked Ghost in the Shell's not up for that, because that ticked off so many people.
I don't think it got any mention at all this year.
That's weird.
So of course the worst screen combo.
Oh, this one's always fun.
We've got Tyler Perry in either the ratty old dress or worn out wig in Boo 2, A Medea Halloween.
Okay.
Johnny Depp in his worn out drunk routine, Pirates of the Caribbean, dead career.
Is that what it says? Dead careers.
Dead careers tell no tales. So,
nice.
He did not get a lot of love this year either.
No.
Any combination of two characters, two sex toys, or two sexual positions, 50 Shades Darker.
Oh, for a minute there, I thought that was for the Emoji Movie. Oh my God.
Any two obnoxious emojis from the Emoji Movie. Any combination of two humans, two robots, or two explosions in Transformers Last Night. To me, I gotta give this one to the 50 Shades Darker.
Right.
Because for a movie that is supposed to be all about, well, the sex, from what I've heard, it's not really that much about the sex, and what is in there is kind of I really think that they should have made the 50 Shades of Grey movies pornos, and just higher class pornos, and then rated them X, and then distributed them as widely as they could. I think that if they did that, it would have been done more appropriately. And tell you the truth, you could have any type of porn actor and porn actress doing those roles, and it would come across exactly as the novelization wants to do.
This is really hard to say. I will have to admit, the only one of those I've seen one now, is the Pirates movie. And yes, Johnny Depp's routine has gotten worn out. It really has. And I've said before, Dead Men Tell No Tales, it's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. It's a fun movie. if you're not completely sick of the routine, it's fun. They use it well, but it is worn out. And I do like how they say dead careers tell no tales. I like that. That's amusing. But I'm probably going to have to go with 50 Shades for that one because it's got to be the worst.
Because I saw the first one. If it's anything like the first one, that would go really well on the
Is this really the full list? They must have gotten rid of some categories.
Yep, this is the full list.
Kim Basinger was in that? Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, so worst supporting actress. Kim Basinger, 50 Shades Darker. I want to say she plays the mother, but I could be wrong.
Oh god.
Sophia Boutella for The Mummy. Laura Haddock, Transformers Last Night, which is good because it was very fishy, I'm sure. Goldie Hawn from Snatched. See a new one that we got in there, and another one that's newly added on. Susan Sarandon, A Bad Mom's Christmas. I just can't stand A Bad Mom's Christmas anyway, so I would put my money on Susan Sarandon.
I'm a little surprised by that, but I enjoy Bad Moms, to be honestly. But I don't have much need to see the second one anytime soon. I've never been a fan of Kim Basinger, and the fact that she's even in 50 Shades Darker is a big knock against her. Honestly, if I were doing the nominations, I can't remember the name of the actress offhand, and I feel bad about this. I should know her name. She was also in The Night Before, and she was much funnier then. But the girl who plays the guidance counselor in Fist Fight, she, not only is she not funny and creepy, and she should have not only been fired 5 times over for just the stuff she says in the movie, she should have been jailed for the stuff she does in the movie. She should probably be jailed for the stuff she says in the movie. She's a guidance counselor openly lusting over underage boys. And it's awful. Her whole presence in the movie is awful. And I would definitely have nominated her. But since I haven't seen any of these, and I don't like Kim Basinger or the 50 Shades franchise, we'll go with that.
Alright, so worst supporting actor. We've got Javier Bardem for Mother and Pirates of the Caribbean. We've got Russell Crowe for The Mummy. We've got Josh Duhamel for Transformers. Mel Gibson for Daddy's Home 2. Say another new entry there. And Anthony Hopkins for Collide and Transformers.
He was in Transformers?
Yes, he was.
Oh my god.
I am giving it to Anthony Hopkins because what were you thinking?
He needs a new agent.
You need to stop cashing those checks from Michael Bay and walk away from it. It's a terrible thing. You do not sit in the train while it's wrecking. You need to move on.
Especially in that, because it could be a Decepticon train.
So, I just for the general principle that he is better than this, I'm giving it to Anthony Hopkins.
Years ago, I hate to say years ago because it makes me feel ancient, but it's true. It was years ago. I saw an Entertainment Weekly, I think it was Entertainment Weekly, where they had a list of, I think it was 50, actors and their paycheck roles. And in that, they said for Christopher Walken, very, very bluntly, plainly, explicitly, he needs a new agent. And then for Michael Caine, they said he is the British Christopher Walken. And in the meantime, I've added Ben Kingsley to that list, and Anthony Hopkins. They are all brilliant actors who take crap roles for money.
Yeah.
And they are better than this.
Shoot, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman to a lesser degree.
Sam Jackson.
To a lesser degree.
No.
Sam Jackson's done some bad stuff, but not as bad as some of this stuff.
Danny Trejo.
To a lesser degree.
Actually, you could say his good roles are to the lesser degree.
Well, Danny Trejo has more of an excuse because he's not quite as much of a marquee name as the others. But all of them, everyone we just said, please talk to your agent. Tell them they have about a month at best to get you only awesome scripts. And if they can't do it, fire their asses and start over. You're all too good for this. So as far as these go, Javier Bardem, he was okay in the Pirates movie. He is a brilliant actor.
Wasted potential.
He was, yeah. It felt like he was wasting space in that movie. Now, I haven't seen Mother, but I'll find out this week. But Bardem has made a couple questionable choices, but he's usually been one of the better people in the movie. But I don't know. As far as some of these others, Mel Gibson's career is still sputtering.
Yeah.
Not everyone has forgiven
Sometimes
him.
you gotta take a paycheck.
Hacksaw Ridge was such a great movie, but as an actor, he's still here and there. I'm probably going to have to go with Hopkins, though. That's just, he knows better. He really does.
So now we're on to some of the big three. Worst actor, worst actress, and worst picture.
Mm-hmm.
So for the worst actor, we have... Exactly.
Yes.
Tom Cruise for The Mummy. Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean. Jamie Dornan for 50 Shades Darker. Zac Efron for Baywatch. And Mark Wahlberg for Daddy's Home 2 and Transformers Last Night.
Wow.
For me, I actually would go with Jamie Dornan on this. Nobody has more looked like they wanted out of this, that they truly regretted taking the role than Jamie Dornan has. And,
I don't know about that.
In this particular, he looks checked out. Any of the scenes I have seen of 50 Shades Darker, he looks like he's like, okay, just do it, cash the paycheck later.
It's like that wonderful, wonderful scene in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Damn it, Ben, I'm busy.
But he was. It was a. To me, that was just. To me, it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and you can see it in the performance, and it's very sad.
I have to say though, Mark Wahlberg, Johnny Depp, even Tom Cruise.
Well, they're better than that.
Yeah. Zac Efron and Jamie Dornan aren't really quite on that level. But I have to admit, I cannot imagine that 50 Shades Darker is better than any of those other performances. Again, Johnny Depp looks like he's coasting at this point, but it's still not a bad performance. It's still fun. Exactly. And Zac Efron is probably actually trying his best. I mean, he's had some decent roles, but he's not on the same caliber as the others. Yeah, I'm going to go to Jamie Dornan, I think. Yeah.
So, worst actress. Katherine Heigl for Unforgettable. Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades Darker. Jennifer Lawrence for Mother. Tyler Perry for Boo 2. A Medea Halloween. And Emma Watson for The Circle. See, to me, I haven't seen Emma Watson's performance, so I couldn't give you
I disagree with that.
I would have to say that she is good enough that I can't imagine it being a worst actress.
She did a good job. There were a couple parts. The thing is, she's forced several times in the movie to drink the Kool-Aid. And she too abruptly, she makes about faces at least 3 times in the movie. I don't fault her so much as the editing and screenwriting. I think if the movie had maybe played those scenes out a little longer, maybe she can't be faulted for the faults of the story. I think she did a really good job with what she was given. As far as the others here, I love Jennifer Lawrence, but we'll wait until I see Mother. I want to go with Tyler Perry just because it abuses me.
See, to me, Tyler Perry, it's the same role he's always played.
Probably.
I really don't see it. I mean, now, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, I think that he actually did better with that. But I do think that he, like Johnny Depp, is coasting.
Yeah.
So I really can't give it to him either. To me, Jennifer Lawrence, again, I haven't seen Mother, but I can imagine that she gave a good performance.
Yeah.
I think that she's overrated at times, but I feel like she's given a good performance. So we're left with Katherine Heigl and Dakota Johnson. I don't know enough about Unforgettable to do the rating, but Dakota Johnson, I've seen her dead fish acting there, and I can't imagine that it has gotten much better as this new movie has gone on, so I will give it to Dakota Johnson.
It seems a good a reason as any.
So finally, the one we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
The worst picture of the year.
Three guesses what they are.
I'm pretty sure that you know these by this point.
Yes.
We have Baywatch, The Emoji Movie, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, and Transformers Last Night. Now, there are a lot of things that are shameful. An Emoji Movie is definitely shameful.
Yes.
But to me, and there are a lot of these that have done some terrible things. Baywatch is just an affront to reality. I don't need that.
Baywatch was a bait and switch.
Yeah.
The trailer was actually funny. I saw the trailer and I was like, holy crap, I might have to go see this. And then it came out and the reviews were scathing. And I was like, I'm not wasting my time on this. I still kind of want to see it, but from everything I heard, it comes back to everything I've been saying about Fist Fight.
Yeah.
It supposedly, it's like a middle school level movie. If you like that sort of thing, you'll probably love Baywatch. Yeah.
Now, 50 Shades Darker, well, again, we knew this was what it was. I'm not really going to give it any more flack than what I've already given it.
That one, the trailer did not get me interested.
So now we get to the three that I consider the most offensive.
Yeah.
The Mummy, which offends me because it destroyed the potential of what could have been another Universal renaissance.
The trailer for that one was pretty decent.
Yeah.
It was head-scratching. It was like, what the hell are they doing? But it could have been alright.
Because I think if they went with more of a horror vibe, less of an action vibe, I actually do think that they could have made the Dark Universe work. Mm-hmm. It's not the first movie in the Dark Universe series, but it probably is the last. And my worry is that Disney might buy up Universal. Those are reasons why I consider The Mummy kind of abysmal. Transformers, I consider abysmal on the very principle that it's a Transformers movie. And
By Michael Bay.
And it's Michael Bay. The last one, though, I'm going to give it to Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Emoji Movie is the most offensive to me because it offends everything that it stands for. If I was a millennial, I would be even more offended because this movie is presenting itself like, we know you millennials. We know exactly what you want. And we're going to give it to you because we, the studio execs, we know. We know better than you do.
I need to ask Clay.
So, here's what you're going to get. And I'll tell you what you're going to get. You're going to get this. That's what you're going to get.
A nice, big, steaming pile of...
Exactly.
Incidentally, Patrick Stewart needs to be added to that list as someone needs to talk to their agent.
I do believe that was a sad thing. But I guess they considered the performance good enough that it had to go. So out of this, what would you go with as worst picture?
Emoji Movie.
Well, there we go.
That was one where the first time I saw the trailer, well, first of all, I felt my IQ drop a couple points watching the trailer. And afterwards, I was like, the hell are they thinking?
I was mildly amused. Just by the concept, not the trailer.
No. No. No.
But,
so, yeah.
Again, another failed attempt. I'm sure I'll see Emoji Movie in the future. Yeah. I might even own it in the future, but I ain't going to pay anywhere near full price for it.
Just to see if I can... If I were to guess, if I were to subject myself to each one of these films, and that's a big if, My guess is that Baywatch would probably rate just above or below Fist Fight on my list.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is that The Mummy would probably be in the same ballpark, maybe a bit lower, but it could be a little higher depending on what I really think of it. Transformers will probably be lower, but I'm willing to say 50 Shades Darker is probably going to be so much lower it's not even funny. An Emoji Movie may be something I would not be able to watch.
So,
it would be like Disaster Movie, which I saw about 5 minutes and walked out of the room.
in recap, and I'll actually try and do some editing so I can put some pictures up here at this point. We have for our predictions for worst screenplay, The Emoji Movie, if I remember correctly,
I think so.
and Transformers Last Night. Then for worst director, I picked Michael Bay
I think
for
we both
Transformers, and you picked Michael Bay for Transformers.
I think so.
For worst remake, ripoff, or sequel, I picked The Mummy, and you picked... I can't remember.
I think I went with The Mummy for that one.
Okay, because it just it was that killing.
Because
of
it
the
matters so
universe.
much when you're talking about the Razzies.
So as far as the screen couple,
50
actually
Shades.
both of us picked the
50
50 Shades, which was any combination of two characters,
Yeah.
two sex toys, and two sexual positions.
Mm-hmm.
For worst supporting actress, it was Susan Sarandon for Bad Moms, and
Kim Basinger for 50 Shades.
there we
Yep.
go. Supporting actor, it was, well, both of us went with Anthony Hopkins, though Javier Bardem did enter your interest for a moment.
Yeah, well, I don't think I would have put him forward as my likely
Wasted
pick.
talent.
Yeah. Wasted talent.
For worst actor, I had gone with Jamie Dornan,
Mm-hmm.
and you went with...
I think I did end up going for Jamie Dornan too, but that one was a hard call.
That was a hard call.
Yeah.
So worst actress, you went with Tyler Perry.
Yes.
And
I think I kind of changed to Dakota Johnson, but I like the idea of Tyler Perry getting it.
And I went to Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for worst picture...
Emoji Movie.
Emoji
Easy.
Movie.
Easy.
Yeah, that was just a no-brainer. So,
Yes, just like the people that make
I hope you all enjoyed this. The pickups video has been delayed, but you will be getting it soon. It will be at this end of this week. We will be giving you the pickups because of our schedule. But I hope you've enjoyed our award season goodies, and we'll see you on the next one.